Many people want to build wealth, but do not understand how the stock market works. They fear losing money, do not know where to start from, or believe investing is only for the rich. But here is the thing, the right knowledge is all you need. This is why the Naira Academy has created the How to Make Money from Stock course, coming up on the 7th to 10th July 2026. In this course, you learn how to understand the stock market, how to diversify portfolio, and also how to invest profitably. Register now with the registration fee of 25,000 Naira. But here is the good thing, the early bird offer is still on. For the Money Click members, the early bird offer is 12,500 Naira, and then for the non-members, the early bird fee is 17,500 Naira. So what are you waiting for? Register now, and I hope to see you in class.
So have you ever wondered why you keep making the same money mistakes, even after reading books, attending seminars, and learning about budgeting and so much more? Maybe you've promised yourself countless times that, oh, this month I'll save, this year I'll invest, this time I'll be more disciplined. Yet somehow you end up repeating the same cycle. What if your problem isn't lack of financial knowledge? What if it's unresolved financial trauma? Financial trauma occurs when painful money experiences create emotional wounds that continue to influence your financial decisions even years later. Perhaps you grew up in a home where there was never enough. Perhaps your parents constantly fought over money. Perhaps you watched the family business collapse. Perhaps you experienced sudden poverty after a period of comfort. That event may have ended, but the emotional impact remained. And today, those experiences may be silently shaping how you earn, how you spend, how you invest, and even discuss money. So many people are trying to solve emotional problems with financial strategies. That's like trying to treat a broken bone with perfume. Until you heal the wound, the symptoms will keep returning. And that is why I created the Healing from Financial Trauma course. Not to teach more budgeting, not to teach more investing, but to help people understand the hidden emotional forces driving their money decisions. Because when healing begins, financial transformation becomes sustainable. If this resonates with you, send us a message. Let's talk about how you can join the Healing from Financial Trauma course. You can just comment healing in the comments. I'll reach out to you with the details. My name is Chukwuemeka Oyenizi and I'm the founder of the Naira Academy. Bye-bye.
All right, hello everyone and good afternoon. Welcome to our Thursday live session. Happy to be here once again. Good morning everyone, good afternoon everyone, depending on where you're joining us in the world. Yes, Madam Anne, as always, the first to be here. And joining, I had to see this session, see this comment, that says I need to get addicted to this platform. Addiction is a big deal. I must teach my girls financial literacy. Yes, in fact, I've just been talking about it of recent that the solution to gambling addiction is prevention. And to prevent it, we need financial literacy. A lot of people got into gambling because they were told there's a way to invest. They were told there's a way to double their money. It's purely out of ignorance that a lot of people got into gambling in the first place and before they got hooked in it as a form of addiction. And gambling addiction is a real thing. A lot of people are drowning in it. A lot of people have lost their source of livelihoods because of it and a lot more. Yes, today's Sex a Child Like a Pro, brought out a lot of this because, of course, Coach David Falaromi is an expert in that field, right? So, yes, for those of us who are coming from that session, I'm sure most of us are a bit sober, all right? Okay, Discovering Tara says, I particularly have a concern as someone coming from a background of consumers. It had to stay consistent and not borrow due to family members infiltrating with their own lives and need. Yes, and if you have been following us here, we've had classes about this before, and we've talked about creating boundaries, right? Creating boundaries, building up your emotions control, being able to say no. Like I'd always tell you and everybody here, if you want to build wealth, you must be able to create boundaries and say no when people are about to cross those boundaries. But stay put again. There will be more classes where we'll talk about things like this again, and you can take one or two things, or you can take a replay of some of our previous classes, and you get to hear more about the things that we've shared concerning having a lot of people trying to poach money from you here and there and all that. All right. So thank you very much, everyone, for joining us today. Today, I want us to discuss why you keep repeating the same financial mistakes over and over and over and over again. Some of the questions some people have asked, you might also get answers in this session for it. All right. Have you ever told yourself, have you ever said, I promise myself I will never do this thing again? But somehow, few months later, not even months, few weeks later, you find yourself back in that same situation. Have you ever told yourself, you spent money so badly that you were almost broke, right? Or probably people are always asking you for money, right? And then you give out so much that you barely had anything for yourself in a particular period, and you told yourself, I won't do this again. And a few weeks later, a few months later, a month later, you saw yourself giving out the same way you told yourself you were not going to give out. Overspending the same way you're not supposed to overspend. You see yourself taking on unnecessary debt. Maybe you took on a debt in the past that almost choked you. And you tell yourself, I will never take debt again. It is lack of emotions control that you take debt to sort out other people's problems. Right? Have you ever been there? You tell yourself, I will never borrow. But a few months later, you find yourself borrowing again. Right? Have you ever told yourself that you will start betting? Well, you start, and on the way you abandon it again. Have you ever told yourself you would never react to money emotionally? The next few days, you're doing exactly the same thing. Have you ever told yourself, have you ever had issues with somebody about money? You lent somebody money, right? And thank you so much. I'm tired of the story of my life. Have you ever found yourself in a situation where you lent out money to someone and the person did not pay you? And you tell yourself, I can't lend out money that I can't afford to lose again. But months later, you are lending money to someone else again because the person is pleading to your conscience, in quotes. Please now. And you felt, what can I do? I have to help. You find yourself repeating the same mistake again. Have you ever told yourself, I will save? I have a goal now. Months later, you are ignoring all the savings goals and you're spending the way you like. Right? At some point, you begin to wonder, begin to ask yourself, why do I keep repeating the same financial mistakes? Why? Why do I keep repeating the same financial mistakes? The answer is much, much more deeper than just knowledge. Because many financial mistakes are not information problems. They are pattern problems. Right? And patterns are usually rooted in belief, in emotions. They are rooted in experiences that we might not even realize are driving our behavior. And that's why I responded to that comment that says that I'm coming from a background of consumers. It's hard to stay consistent and not borrow due to family pressure. It is because of the patterns that you've become used to. It's because of your rooted belief. It's because of your lack of emotions control. It's because of some emotional experiences that we may not even realize how it's driving our behavior. Do you know, some of us were raised with a mindset that we must keep helping and helping even beyond our means. Some of us had experiences that had made us develop coping mechanisms that we can no longer control ourselves from overhelping. So most financial decisions are emotional decisions, right? A lot of times we like to think that we make financial decisions logically. But research in psychology and behavioral finance has shown us that emotions heavily influence how we handle money. Emotions influence how we handle money. Right? We repeat financial mistakes because our money habits are driven by psychology, not mathematics. It's driven by psychology. You're faced with a situation where you know you have little, and somebody is telling you that you need to give them money. Sometimes they give you no reason why they need the money. Mathematics is telling you your money is almost finished, you're running into debt. But psychology, all you're seeing is that person's plea. I'm not saying we shouldn't have, see people's plea, right? But what I'm saying is exposing to you how much psychology controls your spending more than mathematics, right? Emotional triggers, scarcity mindsets, all these things come up to make logical knowledge ineffective. Because at some point, it takes over. It takes over. Right? It takes over. We spend when we're stressed. We spend when we're excited. We spend when we are lonely. We spend when we're afraid. We spend when we want approval. We spend when we want comfort. We spend when we want to feel successful. All these purchases, all this spending might look rational. You rationalize it. But it is motivated through emotions. The motivation is emotional. It's emotional. And that's why I tell you every day that simply learning more about money does not always change your behavior. And I don't think anybody teaches money from the aspect I teach it on these platforms. And why do I say that? Because knowledge alone cannot automatically change emotional patterns. It can't. It can't change emotional patterns. Knowledge cannot change your blueprints. Knowledge alone cannot change your money blueprints. Sorry about your network, man. The knowledge is not born again today. Right? So, what is testing my boundaries now is how I can watch my dad struggle when I'm alive. Well, I do not know the full story, but what I can tell you is to come for a private counseling session, because there might be things that you would have to reveal to me that you can't tell me here, right? That will give me a background of everything. And of course, yes, you should take care of your father, right? But there are certain things that we can't discuss online. And I would urge you to come in for a counseling session. Let us start the discussion from where it started from the roots. Okay? Right. Because this might not be your story, but this is the story of some other person. I have seen people that other people spend more money than them for their own money. Let me not get into that. When you come in for one-on-one session, we'll talk more about that. All right? Okay. Thank you so much, Madam Tony George. Yes, says no one teaches money like I do, and that's why she is here. Thank you. Thank you so much. Yes, because most times when people talk about money, all people are talking about is, oh, invest, do this. But behind all you can have all the knowledge. I keep telling you, you can have an encyclopedia from Oxford University on investing. But if you do not take care of the emotional aspects, your relationship with money, all that knowledge will not be put to use. It will not be put to use. Right? It won't be put to use. So most times, what is even affecting us is our blueprints, our financial script, an old financial script that is running in us. Every one of us has what psychologists call money scripts. Money blueprints. And if you're in the Money Click program, you would have been in that class. And if you not watched that session, you should go and watch it. Money blueprints. They are deeply held beliefs about money that were formed early in our lives. Right? So some people held on to certain beliefs that they were raised with. Certain beliefs like money never stays. Some people believe is that rich people are greedy. Some people's belief that they've come to accept as true is that I deserve to enjoy myself because life is hard. So they spend and spend and spend. It's all about enjoying themselves for them. Some people's money believe that they've come to believe right from when they were a child, is that I must help everyone. So anybody that comes to them for help must receive help. Some people's belief is that I can never have enough. Some people is that investing is too risky. For some people, they just believe that people like us don't build wealth. So the problem is that many of these beliefs operate unconsciously. It's in your subconscious mind. You don't even realize they are there. Yet they are quietly influencing your decisions every day. So you need to think about your childhood. What did you hear about money? That's the origin of the story. That's where you're coming from. Where did you hear? What did you hear about money while you were growing up? What did you see? Right? Especially among your parents. Did you see your parents argue about money? Did you see them struggle financially? Did you see them spend impulsively? Did you see them talking about finance? Did they avoid talking about money? Did they save consistently? Did they invest? Did they not? The reason is because how you are often is a mirror of how your parents were. Children learn more from observation. So children observe their parents and they become. And that's why every day we are here also telling you that you should become a better financially literate person, a more educated person financially, because your children will become from watching you. So long before you earn your first salary, you were already learning how money works, but from your parents, from people around you, from the things that you heard. And some of those lessons may still be affecting you and influencing your behavior today. And that's why I urge parents, bring your children into the Money Click Kids program. Let them start early and start hearing the things that they need. Just today, in the Sex Educate Your Child Like a Pro, Coach David kept hampering on things like children understanding delayed gratification, learning how to wait, understanding money early. That is what the Money Click Kids program is about. That's what part of the things that we get to teach them. The need for them to delay gratification, the need for them to wait, the essence of patience in their lives. Helping them understand money early can change everything for them. Right? See, one of the reasons why people repeat financial mistakes over and over and over again is because of how our brains are wired to function. Our brain is wired for comfort. The brain prefers what is familiar to it. Right? So even unhealthy patterns can feel normal simply because they are familiar. I want your children to have those healthy patterns become a familiar thing to them. Even if you're not telling them, we'll be telling them twice every month on the Saturdays and Sundays that we meet with them. If chaos was normal for you growing up, financial chaos will unconsciously feel familiar today. If growing up all you saw was your parents were always in debt, it was always a struggle to survive. If you watch yourself today, you're always in debt, you're struggling to survive. It is a repeat. It is a repeat of what you saw. You became those things that you saw your parents do. You became those things. We can never discuss money without discussing blueprints. If you do not change your money blueprints, there's nothing else. Nothing else would really work for you. If living paycheck to paycheck was normal, if you watched it normal, you saw your parents every month before end of the month, money don't finish. You saw, if it was normal, financial stability will even feel strange to you at some point. If you see yourself becoming financially stable, you yourself will self-sabotage yourself because it feels strange. So without realizing it, people sometimes recreate the environment that they know best. So the question is, in what environment were you raised? In what situation were you raised? Were you raised in chaos or were you raised in financial peace? To a great extent, it is determining how your financial life is running today. To a great extent, it is the experiences that we had. I often tell people that there are 3 ways that your blueprint is formed. First, by the things that you heard growing up. Secondly, by the things that you saw. And things you saw is not even always your parents. It could be things you saw in your environment. Like someone in the Money Click program shared in our Money Click Chronicles, which is a testimonial we do every year for people in the Money Click program to share their journey. And last year, December or November, she shared a story. And she said, before she joined the Money Click program, she was always in debt. Always. She was always in debt. And then she attended the class for Money Blueprints. She realized where the origin of that debt was coming from. It was coming from her parents, but more importantly, from her environment. That in her environment growing up, debt was normalized. If you're not in debt, then you look like there's something wrong with you. Debt was normalized. The same way today, we are raising children in environments that debt has become normalized, especially if we live outside of this country. Oh, yes. We're raising children in an environment where if you do not have credit card debt, you look like you're not normal. In an environment where if you don't have credit score, you look abnormal. Where it has become normal for everybody to be in debt. Environment has an impact on children. Right? So everybody around the environment, everybody keeps talking about debt and debt and debt. Subconsciously, she said, in fact, that there was one saying in her environment that the government of Nigeria is in debt, and who are you not to be in debt? So everybody was borrowing. And she said, before she joined the Money Click in 2025, she had worked 7 years in the bank, and she had nothing to show for it. Until she joined and she realized that her mindset changed, and from the point that her mindset changed, everything about her finances started changing. So some of us have inculcated the mindset. So if you have that mindset of debt is normal, your children will inherit it from you. Right? If you're always having that discussion and discussing debt to be a normal thing, they would accept it as normal. I was talking to a child in the Money Click Kids, a teenager, last year in the Money Click Kids program. And this boy was about to get into college. He was 17. And he was already thinking about taking a loan to get a car. Until I stopped him. Why? Because that was the normal thing in his environment. That was what everybody was doing. Everybody was taking loans to finance their cars. So it was normal that he gets to that age. He was going to be 18 the next year. What was that? He's going to get into college. He'll get a loan and they get a car. Environment. We do not understand the extent to which our environment is affecting us. See, our environment today is promoting a debt culture. I keep telling people that there's a new form of slavery in the world today, and it's financial slavery. And your children are the targets. Your children are the new. You're already fallen victim already. So now you're the new target are your children. Anyway, let's keep moving. Now, the third way that your blueprint is formed is by your experiences, your past experiences, right? That's the third way that our blueprints, our money scripts are formed. Past experiences with poverty, past experiences with loss, past experiences with debt, past experiences with unemployment, past experiences with financial betrayal, past experiences with economic instability. All these things, all these past experiences, they leave emotional scars. Emotional scars that the responses might not be healthy, but that's what we've carried on till today. These experiences can create fear of investing, fear of taking opportunities, fear of spending, fear of success, fear of losing everything. And I've given you this story countless times on this platform before. A particular member of the Money Click program, that the father was evicted from the bank he used to work in. He tried investing, it didn't work, and that's how they went from living in a very push place. They went from, is it grace to grass or grass to grace? I can't remember. Grass to grace, right? They went from living in Festac in Lagos to living in Okokomaiko. That's how bad. That's how bad. What did this happen? What did this do to this woman? What it did to her was today, or before she joined the Money Click, she was an adult who refused to invest because she watched her father try to invest and he failed, and it drove them into abject poverty. So eventually she started making money and she never invested. She told me, Coach, I like to see my money in the bank account. But I have just realized after watching a lot of things that you've said about investing that I've not been doing myself good by just keeping my money in the bank. Experiences. Okay, grace to grass. Thank you. Thank you. Experiences. So a lot of our experiences growing up are affecting us today. That's why I keep saying that our childhood, some of us are still spending money from our childhood self. Right? So because of the experiences a lot of us had with money growing up, some of us saw our parents, some of us said there used to be people that their parents were perpetual debtors, right? That people used to come to their house every day. In fact, they used to be the ones to tell those people that my father is not around, my mother is not around. What do you think that would have done to you as a child or as an adult today? For some people, you saw your parents go from one economic instability to another, from one financial problem to another. Why do you think? What do you think that would have done to you today? For some, their business partners, betrayed them. What do you think that would have done to you today? Poverty leaves a scar that is more than just empty pockets. So as a result of all these experiences, people make decisions designed to protect themselves emotionally rather than to build wealth strategically. So a lot of people are making decisions to protect themselves emotionally rather than build wealth strategically. Right? Just like overspending. Let me talk about overspending. Why do you think some people keep overspending? Overspending is not always a lack of discipline. That's not the only problem. Sometimes it's the response. It's the response that we've developed over time that is making us overspend. Response to stress. Some people have come to see spending as a reward for suffering because of where they are coming from. So they are trying to protect themselves emotionally. Some people have seen spending as an attempt, a way to feel successful. Some people Some people have come to see it as a way to gain approval. Some people have come to see it as an effort to heal wounds. So some people spend because they finally have access to those things they lacked as children. Others spend because spending temporarily relieves their emotional discomfort. But the issue is not the transaction. The issue is the emotion behind the transaction. And that's why I tell you, we teach money here differently from how anybody will teach you about money on these platforms. On these platforms, money is deeper than just talking about investing. And there's something I usually tell Money Click members, and I told them at the beginning of the year. There are two aspects of money for everyone. There's the outer and there's the inner. Everybody is shouting about the outer. But the truth is that if you cannot influence your inner aspect of money, your outer aspect will not change. In my experience, what is not seen influences what is seen the most. What is under the ground influences what is above the ground. The roots create the fruits. So most times, a lot of us approach money the wrong way. Why? Because, and that's one of the reasons why I got into what I do today, because I realized everybody is talking about how to change your money behavior by investing more, by budgeting, but nobody is talking about the inner aspect of money. It's like saying that the fruit on a tree is bad, and all you do is cut off the fruits. Does it change anything? There's something producing the fruits. It's the roots. It's the roots. The roots produce the fruits. So change the roots if you want to change the fruits. The same thing applies to money. Your emotions make up part of the roots. So looking at spending on itself as the problem is not the problem. There's something behind the spending. It's the emotions. Right? And that's why also some people never save. Some people struggle to save because they genuinely believe that something will just happen anyway, or just money doesn't stay. They just believe that money not ever stays, so just spend. Just spend. So these are beliefs that have been developed for years of instability. See, years of instability have made people believe that money not a day for hand. So as the money is coming, and because of instability, some people feel, let them even enjoy this money they're seeing now because they don't know when the just enjoyment to come. Poverty is terrible. That's why I tell you that poverty leaves more scar than just empty pockets. Right? So if you have repeatedly experienced loss or poverty, saving will feel pointless to you because your brain has been wired for survival. What are you saving for? Yes, when it comes to money, what happens inside has an effect on what happens outside. Yes. Thank you so much, sir, Mr. Iglu. So instead of building for the future, you unconsciously prioritize immediate comfort. That is what poverty does to the brain. Poverty gives the brain a survival mindset. If you meet a typical poor person will tell you why is he saving. Say he never chop. It's not really because of hunger. It is because of the mindset the person has come to curate in themselves, unconsciously. It is this same thing, this same line of mindset that make people keep falling for get-rich-quick schemes. Ponzi schemes. I just shared on my Facebook page, because my Facebook page, my personal Facebook page, I shared a story of a woman who was crying that she lost all her savings to a Ponzi scheme. Oh, you will be shocked. You feel people are no longer investing in Ponzi scheme. People have learned their lessons. No, they will not. A lot of people are falling daily into Ponzi schemes, unrealistic investment, financial scams. And it is not because they are unintelligent. Right? It is because the desire to escape financial pain very quickly is powerful. And that desire was fueled, that desire was created by poverty. So their subconscious prefers immediate relief over gradual progress. So if you meet them today and tell them there's a course called How to Make Money from Stock course, where we are going to teach you how to invest profitably and follow the process of investing and invest the right way, they won't listen to you. But if you meet them today and tell them that I have an investment opportunity, that if you put in any amount today, in 30 days, you will get 100% return on investment. They'll tell you, tell me more. You know why? Because their brains are wired for immediate relief. Their brains are not wired for progress. Their brains are wired for outcome without process. Their brains are wired for outcome without process. Effects of poverty. Effects of poverty. These are reasons why people are drawn to promises of quick wealth instead of proven processes. They don't want to follow the process. It is not because of the knowledge, it is because of the way their brain are wired. And anybody who would explore, who falls for get rich quick schemes more, who falls for it? It is the poor. It's the poor. Or it is the rich who still hold the scars from their poverty in the past. So a lot of people inherited money beliefs from generations that experience poverty. It's not only you experiencing it that would give you the belief. Sometimes people inherit it. They inherit their money belief from other generations who might have even experienced poverty and didn't heal from it, or inflation, or economic uncertainty, or war, or business failures, or loss of wealth. Some of these beliefs, like I said before, just like war, like I've told you in the instance of the Nigerian Civil War and the effects on the Igbo population, and part of that is coming out in my new book as well, right? Some of these beliefs helped previous generations to survive. It helped them at that point. But survivor beliefs are not always wealth-building beliefs. I can't say it enough. Survivor beliefs are not wealth-building beliefs. So the challenge is recognizing which belief still serves you and which one no longer serves you. Which belief still serves you? Just like I've said earlier before, and I think I saw, is it Botashika? She made a comment yesterday. I think she was catching a replay on one of our previous sessions, where I mentioned the belief that people have for children. The belief that you must have a male child or you must have a female child. And I wrote an article about that so many years ago, I think sometime in 2013 or so, or 2011 or thereabout, that the belief to have a male child was something that was strong in a lot of histories across the African society. It was strong because at the point where they were, they needed male children for a lot of things. They needed male children to work at the farms and quite a whole lot of things. So as at that time, insisting to have a male child made sense in their time. The problem that people have carried that same belief till today, and they are living with it and they are killing themselves with it. I have heard people that I have 2 girls and I won't have another child again. And the first question they ask me is, you will not have a male child? And I say, for what? They say, you don't want to have a male child. And for what? What do I need a male child for? I have 2 children. And that's all. People are killing themselves. I once had, I've told people what I wrote, the article I wrote years ago. I had a relative who had 5 girls. And he was still looking for a male child, a boy. And eventually, he gave birth to a twin, a boy and a girl. And then he now had 7 children. With the 5 children, he was struggling. When I mean struggling, he was struggling. And then he added 2 more. And then I asked, what benefit did the male child bring to him financially? How did the male child come out from the stomach, from the womb with gold? So it still brings me back to this same thing that I keep hampering upon. you need to recognize the belief that still serves you and the ones that no longer serve you. Don't just carry beliefs in your head without filtering the one that is serving you in today's world and the one that is not serving you. A lot of the beliefs that we're carrying no longer serves us today. Right? And that's the reason why we need a change of mindset. And that's the reason why I urge people to join the Money Click program. I tell people a lot, the biggest thing you get from the Money Click program is a change of mindset. It's to change the way you think about money. Jim Brown will say that if you change, everything will change. If you change the way you think, everything changes. Everything changes once you change the way you think. And that's the biggest benefit of the Money Click program. Helping you to understand, to change the way you believe, to change the way you think, to change your beliefs about money, to change your mindsets. Even the Bible recognizes the power of patterns and the need for us to change patterns. The Bible repeatedly emphasized transformation through renewing the mind. You cannot be transformed without your change in mindsets. Romans 12 verse 2 says, do not conform to the pattern of this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind. Patterns, mind renewal. A lot of financial struggles are repeated patterns. You're just repeating patterns. And how do you stop patterns? Transformation begins by recognizing those patterns and changing the thinking that sustains those patterns. If you cannot recognize the patterns, you can't change them. So the first step is awareness, recognizing the patterns. So how do we stop repeating the same financial mistakes? Number one, identify the pattern. That's number one. Number one, identify the pattern. Number one. I say again, how to stop repeating the same financial mistakes. Number one, identify the pattern. What financial mistakes are repeating? That's one thing you need to find out. What are the financial mistakes that are repeated in your life? Is it overspending? Is it debts? Identify it. Is it poor investments? Identify it. Is it lack of savings? Identify the pattern. Right? Name it. Number two, ask yourself a deeper question. And that deeper question is, what emotion usually comes before that mistake? Is it stress? Is it fear? Is it excitement? I've said it over and over again. It is not just the negative emotions that drive us to make financial mistakes. Even positive emotions in excess, like excitement, being overly excited can drive you to spend more money than you're supposed to spend. So, what emotion usually comes before that mistake? Is it stress? Is it fear? Is it excitement? Is it comparison? Is it pressure? Name it. Number three, examine the belief behind it. What do you believe about money that may be driving this behavior? Right? What do you believe about money that might be driving this behavior? What do you believe? Think deep. Do some soul searching. Number four, replace the pattern with a new one. That's what we call neuroplasticity. Right? So how do you do that? Financial transformation is not about one very big decision. No. It's about repeated small decisions, new habits, new beliefs, new system. Change the way you do things. Start changing the way you think about things. Right? If you would take this way to do this thing, use another way to do it. Do it repeatedly, it will overrun how you used to do it before. So replace the patterns. If when you earn money before, the first thing you do is to spend, right? And after spending, you realize you don't have anything left anymore to save. Change the pattern. What will be the new pattern? As you earn, save first before you start spending. Once you start saving first before start spending, do it repeatedly, it becomes a new pattern that will replace the old pattern of spending first. Oh, yes. Excuse me, please. Number 5, give yourself grace. Give yourself grace. That's number 5. Number 5, give yourself grace. So many of your money habits developed over decades, right? It did not happen overnight. Your money habits developed. It took time for you to develop the money habits that you have today. None of it happened overnight. So give yourself grace. Be patient with yourself. And that's why I often tell people, joining the Money Click program is not a one-day thing. It's not a one-year thing. You must be able to stay. Be patient with yourself. So sometimes you join in 1 year, you want to see all the changes in 1 year. It took you 40 years to become who you are, and you want to change it in 1 year. It took you 35 years to become who you are today, and you want to change it in 1 year. You've made the same financial mistakes for 45 years, and you think that in 1 year, you overturn everything. It doesn't work like that. You must be patient with yourself, right? Your money beliefs, your money habits today, developed over decades, they will not disappear overnight. Change takes awareness, it takes intentionality, it takes practice. And why you need to stay in the community is for you to keep getting the awareness, intentionality, and keep practicing. Because the moment you leave the community, you stop becoming aware, intentionality is gone. The moment you lose yourself out of the Money Click program, the intentionality is gone. You stop becoming intentional about money and all the things that we talk about here. And it will seem like magic to you, you go back to your old ways. So you need to stay on in the awareness and intentionality long enough for it to become a change, for it to have an impact in your life. So I'll close soon because we're out of time almost. So if you keep repeating the same financial mistakes, it doesn't necessarily mean that you're bad with money. It may mean something deeper. It may mean that there's a deeper issue that needs attention. Because financial behaviors are just symptoms. Just like when you're having headache and you just want to go and treat headache. Headache might simply be a symptom of malaria or any other underlying issue. Right? The same thing applies to behaviors, the financial behaviors. Most times they are symptoms. The roots might be old beliefs. The roots might be unresolved trauma. The roots might be financial trauma. The roots might be inherited patterns. The roots might be emotional needs. But the good news is, what has been learned can be unlearned. What has been inherited can be changed. What has been repeated can be interrupted. So you're not doomed to repeat your financial history. But you may need to understand it before you can change it. Right? Lasting financial change happens when you stop fighting only the behavior and start healing the beliefs and experiences underneath the behavior. And that's why we are hosting and we're starting the Healing from Financial Trauma course. That's the reason why we are here with the Healing from Financial Trauma course. Because if you've ever wondered, why do I keep making the same money mistakes? Why is financial discipline so difficult for me? Why do I know what to do but struggle with it? That's a lot of problem a lot of people have. Why do I know that I'm not supposed to do this thing? You know you're not supposed to spend so much, but you keep doing the same mistake. The answer is not informational, it's emotional. And that's why we're in the Healing from Financial Trauma course. Right? That's why we're hosting it in August. To help you identify the hidden money beliefs and patterns. To help you understand how childhood experiences shaped your relationship with money. to help you break that circle of fear, that circle of scarcity, that circle of continuous self-sabotage, to help you understand how you can begin to develop healthier financial habits and better emotional awareness, to help you understand how you can build a new relationship with money that is rooted in wisdom and not trauma. Because sometimes the level of your financial life is not always another investment strategy. The next level is not always another investment strategy. Sometimes it's understanding why you do what you do with money. And that understanding cannot change only your finances. It can change your entire financial future. So we need to understand why we do what we do with money. And that's why we're inviting you, please register for the Healing from Financial Trauma course. Get yourself into the Money Click program. There is a transformation that is happening in people's lives in these courses and in this program. Be a part of it. Be a part of it. All right? And yes, thank you so much. Yes, thank you so much. Anthony just says, I will stay in this community. Please, you need to be here. Right? Mrs. Ann said, I have been budgeting this Money Click. I've been budgeting. This Money Click taught me, but this month was different. I decided to practice coach guide on putting funds in different accounts. It helped me avoid mixing up funds and overspend. Thank you so much, Ma, for doing that. Because we've talked a lot about using one account for everything, right? In fact, putting your money in different accounts is also a way of budgeting as well. And it's a very effective way, right? Oh, thank you so much. You're just joining us. Please, you can catch the replay. Yes. So we stay here. The words of Mrs. Blessing Ebele. All right. We pay for Money Click. Who else? Who sees the light and abandons it? No one. No one. So thank you so much. Thank you so much. Get yourself on board. Right? Get into the Money Click program. Register for the Healing from Financial Trauma course. And if you want to find details of the registration, the details of the registration for Healing from Financial Trauma course is on your screen. Right? It's on your screen. Reach out to any of the phone numbers, and they will guide you on how you can complete your registration process. All right. Yes, that's for the Healing from Financial Trauma course. And the Money Click program, if you want to get on board the next cohort of the Money Click program, is starting on every January next year. Every January of every year is a new cohort for us. And you can find yourself in. People are already seated in cohort 1 of the 2027 Money Click program, right? Cohort 1, very soon, we know will be filled. So the earlier you join in, the better. So thank you so much, everyone, for being here. Remember, our How to Make Money from Stocks is still ongoing. Today is the day 3, and it's been awesome. If you've not joined, if you've never taken this course before, you can still join us, get a replay of the previous 2 days that we've had, and then join us today. Today's live session. We're also reminding you that our Smart Money Kids workshop is coming up. Get your children on board. Get your children exposed to learn about money on time, so that they will not go to school tomorrow and somebody will tell them that sports betting is investing. Because a lot of people got into sports betting because they were told it is a way to invest and double their money. Get your children exposed to financial literacy in time. So thank you so much, everyone, for being here. Also, register your children in the Money Click Kids program as well, right? Get them on board. Registration into the next cohort has already started, and the children are already seated for next cohorts in the Money Click Kids program, right? All right, so thank you so much, everyone, for being here. This is where we come to the end of our session today. And remember, we're here again next week, Wednesday, we're here by 12 noon. Thursday next week also here by 12 noon. So thank you and thank you and thank you. Okay, I love this. If you don't get on board, it will surely blow. With money no they miss give you that blow situation. Money will clear your eye if you don't learn. So thank you so much, everyone. MCK to the world, Money Click to the world. For Money Click for kids, it is from age 7 to 17. 7 years to 17. If they're not up to 7 years yet, don't worry, just be patient. We're waiting for them to become 7, and you can bring them 7 to 17. That's what we take in the Money Click program, Money Click Kids program. Yes, thank you so much, Madam Christy. Thank you so much, everyone who joined us. Thank you to everybody who has remained consistent in joining these live sessions every week in and week out. Trust me, it might seem like nothing to you, but there's something happening within you. And that change will eventually have results. I'm sure the results are already showing. Just keep on being consistent. Consistency is not just about coming here. It reflects and it will reciprocate in every aspect of your life. Thank you so much, everyone, for being here. See you again next week. And for those in the Money Click program, see you January cohort. See you on Sunday for our masterclass. It's going to be hot. Have a good day. Bye-bye.
So have you ever wondered why you keep making the same money mistakes, even after reading books, attending seminars, and learning about budgeting and so much more? Maybe you've promised yourself countless times that, oh, this month I'll save, this year I'll invest, this time I'll be more disciplined. Yet somehow you end up repeating the same cycle. What if your problem isn't lack of financial knowledge? What if it's unresolved financial trauma? Financial trauma occurs when painful money experiences create emotional wounds that continue to influence your financial decisions even years later. Perhaps you grew up in a home where there was never enough. Perhaps your parents constantly fought over money. Perhaps you watched the family business collapse. Perhaps you experienced sudden poverty after a period of comfort. That event may have ended, but the emotional impact remained. And today, those experiences may be silently shaping how you earn, how you spend, how you invest, and even discuss money. So many people are trying to solve emotional problems with financial strategies. That's like trying to treat a broken bone with perfume. Until you heal the wound, the symptoms will keep returning. And that is why I created the Healing from Financial Trauma course. Not to teach more budgeting, not to teach more investing, but to help people understand the hidden emotional forces driving their money decisions. Because when healing begins, financial transformation becomes sustainable. If this resonates with you, send us a message. Let's talk about how you can join the Healing from Financial Trauma course. You can just comment healing in the comments. I'll reach out to you with the details. My name is Chukwemeka Oluniyi, and I'm the founder of the Viral Academy. Bye-bye.